Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Whenever you come across this video, thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with me. I'm so grateful for every single one of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes. Everyone who's booking, making purchases off the website, pledges to the Patreon, tipping the Clarista, sending things to the P.O. box, and purchases off the wish list. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so very much. Okay, so. I did a little pre-shuffle. We are gonna do like a collective on here, and then I'm gonna carry it over into the extended again on Patreon. I really like the flow of the way that worked out yesterday. So, it's all about just getting in the groove, right? But anyways, so the pre-shuffle, and I kind of already know which decks we're gonna use over here and over there, and but at the bottom of all the decks, this is what we have. We have But God. We have the Strength card. We have Sudden Wealth. The Four of Pentacles with the Justice. Okay? Okay, so let's get started, shall we? All right. What do we need to know about this message here? Yeah, I heard liberation. Okay. You held back from something or held on to something or kept something to yourself, or it could even be like there could have been some sort of like disruption, right? But it's like this energy of like maybe you didn't necessarily like fight back or get yourself it's like you didn't get yourself involved in something. You saw it as unnecessary here. Okay. And so whatever this is, right? Because I feel like it was something that yeah, we have Tombstone. A showdown with Bonnie and Clyde here. Okay. Somebody could really like to gamble, okay, or something about like hotels or casinos. These Maui, excuse me. That must be significant. Maui's over here looking at his booty. I feel like he always is on the camera. What is this? What is this? You save that for the camera? I'm just joking. I love you. I love you so much. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, but yeah, disruption or something like that. But there was something that was, yeah, you didn't get involved in it. You held back here. And I feel like I don't know why it would have taken some sort of strength. Maybe it would have been, yeah, we have the Breakfast Club in reverse. Um, these are all kids that are like in detention. It's almost like there could have been some people that were, because they're also reminding me, by the end of the movie, all of these kids had kind of related to each other. But it's like you're not, eh, eh, there's something about there, it was not necessary for you to be involved in that. It's like you don't belong in that situation. You didn't belong in that situation. It wasn't your crowd. It wasn't your, you know, and maybe and I heard it never was, but maybe at one time you may have gotten yourself mixed up in something, and this could have been, you closing out a cycle, right? Ike and Tina, right? It could have been like a karmic relationship, okay? But I do feel like Bonnie and Clyde, there could have also been some sort of other it could have been like friends or associates or like there's some other, it feels like a couple, like it could have been family or something. Um, I feel like they got themselves in some sort of mess, uh, because of detention here, right? But there's this energy of like you're not in detention, right? So it's not to say that you're like better than these people, but it was like unnecessary for you. It feels like indifference, to be honest with you, right? Like, hey, man, I hate that you're kind of going through that, right? This is your energy. I feel like, maybe they had kind of other intentions here, but it's like the way that you responded to this was like, kind of like exactly like I hate that you're going through that, but uh I've already kind of, I quit going to detention like a long time ago. You know what I mean? Like, um, I quit making decisions that drove me up the walls, right? Like a long time ago, yeah. It's this energy of some sort of you've and this alone has been some sort of, for some of you, it was kind of like revenge in some type of way. Like literally like doing nothing and holding back and just pulling yourself out of like whatever that type of lifestyle is. It feels like drama and chaos and, you know, um, restrictions and it doesn't have to be all of that, but it could be very like addictions or habits or just unhappiness or kind of like survival energy, right? Like Bonnie and Clyde, like you against the world type of energy or just very, you get what I'm saying. Like it doesn't feel very rooted. It feels very kind of, fly by the seat of the pants type of energy. Just, that type of thing here, right? Just, but because maybe you kind of come from this, and it doesn't have to be exactly like that kind of, um, it doesn't have to be all chaos, right? But it's something that's, a type of lifestyle that is, you know, um, first of all, it was never you, but somehow, like I said, you got mixed up in it. But because of that, you understand, what these people are experiencing, right? It's that unawakened, for some it's like lustful energy, right? Not to, it's like you can spot that from a mile away, right? Like for others it's just unhealthy attachment type energy, or you know what I'm saying? People that are just still very much in um like limited beliefs or restrictions. You get what I'm saying. You understand, okay? You understand. And the thing is yeah, it's like Mi Vida Loca. I've never seen this movie, but the vibe that I'm getting off of this card is like you have lived through maybe something similar, or like you understand from a certain perspective about, whatever that was going on, but it's like, but you don't, again, you've pulled yourself out of that. So to get back mixed up in some sort of mess, right? It's just kind of like, meh, meh, you know, um, type of energy, okay? Um, yeah. It's like why would you go back to something like that when and again, it's like you had some sort of strength, um, because maybe it could have been, I don't know, recognizable. I don't know. It was a part of an old programming that tied into, what was comfortable or what was, normal or what felt comfortable or normal or okay, right? But then we have this Kill Bill here. It's like you kind of it feels like this by holding back, by refraining, by not getting involved, by whatever you done here, okay? Staying abstinent or celibate or, whatever it is here, okay? This is kind of like revenge, but in a very justified way. Like it's very liberating. You're not doing anything to this person other than, improve, or these people other than improving yourself. Um, yeah, and then we have the Beatles here, which always gives me kind of like the magician energy, right? Because of the four elements. And we have success. Um, yeah. Mhm. Oh, no. Now we have Britney Spears. I was kind of picking up on an energy of feeling like, we've been talking about being like kind of returning to an energy that maybe you were like wondering what happened to, like something within yourself or something like that. Yeah, we have Outcast and Pretty Woman here. Um, I'm really picking up on an energy of like you kind yeah, you just keep hearing it's Britney, bitch, right? Like, it's like this energy of like coming, I don't know, feeling like coming back out. Maybe you were kind of like in a shell a little bit, or maybe there was like this energy of like being quote unquote like down, but maybe you were just like healing during that time. There's, yeah. Okay, let's dive into this further. Shall we? Yes, we shall. Yeah, Five of Pentacles. The Strength, the Eight of Pentacles. With the Magician. I feel like these are the cards right here to start out. Uh-huh. It's like what you are building is and what you are working on. Yep. Boom. Ten of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, if this was like a couple, this couple may be experiencing some hardships, right? Or there's some sort of endings. They could be, there could be an ending here. But with this tombstone, we have the Five of Pentacles, right? Somebody, it's like whatever this disruption was, it was it was probably to end something for you. It's almost like to, over here, right? I said to like come back out, right? Like, there's like this energy of like feeling safe to kind of, there was definitely a disruption that caused something, it caused a disruption within you energetically and emotionally as well, I feel. Maybe even financially. Um, yeah, this is coming to an end though, because again, there was like some sort of in order for this to sustain, it was like you needed to almost agree to like be almost like to, even though you're not in detention, it's like almost like these people being like, we know you don't have detention today, but just like come with us. Right? And you're like, oh, okay. And no, you were like, no, man, I'm gonna go, like, I heard skateboard. Okay, I don't know who I'm talking to, but or like, I'm seeing like painting or like, so this could definitely be something, these could be people from like when you were young, right? Because I feel like I'm picking up on kind of teenager energy a little bit. So if it's not people from your past, these could be people who are kind of like a recreation, right, of something that you may have experienced when you were young, right? And there is like this energy, maybe at one time, and it may have started a cycle, right, with this Five of Pentacles energy. But there's almost this energy of like now, at where you are, your state of consciousness, things like this, right? You know your worth here. And so you resisted this. So, really, honestly, when it comes down to it, it's not about who these people are exactly or what their, you know, I mean, I guess their intentions are a little bit relevant as far as like the cycle that you're closing, right? But ultimately, it's how you view yourself. And because you've been working really hard on yourself, it seems with this Kill Bill, right? You've been working on, again, I don't remember exactly the movie, but I feel like there was like this energy of like people maybe took some things from her, kind of like broke her down, or like, that type of energy. And it's like this energy of like getting your life back type. Okay. And we've been talking about that, so it kind of makes sense. I feel like there was a child involved, maybe getting their child back or something like, regardless, you've been working, it's almost like you've been fighting against, you know this opposing force. And for, sometimes it's other people, and sometimes it's simply the program that was created, right? And sometimes it's just people that represent that. Okay, there was a situation in which again, you were like, no, strength card. I'm actually not. I'm not gonna go to detention with you, right? Because like I don't have to go do that, right? I think I'll just go, do like the black sheep, right? Like I think I'll just go do what I want to do. You know what I mean? This is also like kind of an energy of like doing your own thing, going your own direction, not following the status quo, right? And there could have been, some sort of persecution or something like that around that as well. Um, yeah, and then we've got the Kill Bill with the Eight of Pentacles, exactly like I said. We've got the Beatles with the Magician. What I say? The Magician, some sort of manifestation, some sort of, it's like you are this very unique individual that is like, I feel like you're tapping into your creation, right? It's like you're tapping into creative energy, creative and create like that type, birthing energy, bringing things to life, but doing it through you. It's like you're tapping into something kind of mystical within yourself, right? Your ability to kind of use what what you've learned, the four elements, all of these different things to kind of co-create, right? And not kind of, but absolutely like co-create. It's like you're recognizing your position when it comes to creating your reality, right? We know that there's destiny. We know that the higher power, right, is ultimately, you know, kind of, in charge running the show, right? But we do have the ability to, we have free will, right? But we also have the ability to co-create with the divine, right? And that's you kind of, this is you like tapping into that. There's almost like been this like conscious awareness, right? But there's something about like this, I don't know, like an aha moment or something very um unique. And what it is I feel like it's like it could have been kind of sitting underneath this Five of Pentacles wound, right? Like a piece of you, a part of you that was kind of, in the dark because of something, again, it feels like this was something that maybe had originated when you could have been like a teenager or like maybe early 20s. It feels like, it really honestly feels like, getting involved with energies that I don't know, could have just been taking advantage or something here. Then we have the Britney Spears with the Queen of Cups. This is an emotionally balanced energy, right? This energy you could have allowed it to kind of push you to the edge, right? To some sort of breakdown. There could have been some sort of postpartum energy, right? Like it just feels like there's been some sort of mastery or recovery or like but it feels too that there was some sort of, for some of you, physical test almost that you passed, right? It's like there was this approaching energy, okay? And Six of Swords with the Judgment, exactly, with the Eight of Cups. I just heard you don't fit in everywhere. You don't need to fit in everywhere. There was like this energy of, it's almost like you could have been in a space of like being very uncertain about who you were in that time, right? And so it's almost like, you would flock to maybe, I don't want to say necessarily anyone, but like that type, you know what I mean? Like it's like this feels so specific, like getting mixed up in the wrong crowd or like, you know, um or just again involving yourself in something that's unnecessary, right? It doesn't even have to be like super extensive. Obviously, there was something that happened because there was some sort of like, energetic wound or, kind of trauma response that was created from it. That you're clearly breaking free from it. There's clearly some sort of like, you know, there's something within you that's coming back to life here, especially with this Queen of Cups. And then we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. But the Six of Swords with the Judgment and the Eight of Cups here, there's like this energy of being very particular about your environment, knowing that it could have been that because I heard it's not you, or it wasn't you, it was your environment, right? That could be something that might be very significant for some of you that it's like in order to self-preserve in certain environments, there were certain pieces and parts of your shadow that came alive that maybe overtook some of these other very magical parts of you. But now you're in a space where it's like, I don't feel as though you it's like you've been working on something, you've been building something, you've been focused on something, you've been, and it could be bringing these pieces back to life, or that's just something very amazing that comes along with whatever it is that you are doing here, right? It's like maybe this is something that's unexpected, but because you're no longer like in an energetic space where it's like there's also an energy too of just wanting people to like being afraid of people not liking you, or like this feels like very people pleasy energy. It feels like very just awareness. And it's again, some people could look at this as like maybe you are like looking at yourself as like being better than others. And it's not about that. It's just being very aware of how just the extent of how much your environment can affect your reality. Um, And it's not to say that you can't hold space for these people, but it is to say that these people need to fight their own battles. Because they're in detention. Why are you going to waste your time in detention for what? What do you gain out of it? What do they gain out of it, right? They gain your company. It's your energy. It's you. You show up and it's like you make everything better here. There's just something about um this is also an energy of you not waiting on someone or something else here. Okay, again, being able to recognize and see that it's like, you know yeah, I'm not in that energy anymore. I'm not in that space anymore. I'm not there anymore. you know Maybe at one time in your life you were posted up in detention, whatever that looked like for you, right? But not anymore. And so yeah, there was just like this energy of um they're telling me to lay these out here. Yeah, the Queen of Swords. This is just like knowing your truth, right? It's almost like these people don't, maybe they haven't recognized their own worth. And at one time, you could have been in the same position, but you're not there anymore. But for whatever reason, it feels like it could have been maybe a little sneakiness, right? Because we had that but God card at the beginning, right? And the Four of Pentacles, you had to hold back here. Like why, you really want to know, like why, why do these people want me to waste my time in detention with them? Like what is, I just heard misery loves company. There it is. They don't want to lose your company here. Seven of Pentacles, the Lover, the Justice card, yeah, Five of Swords. This could have been like a somebody who was like just like somebody that you dated in the past. you know or an old friend, or, it feels very testy. It feels very much like you passed that test. It feels very much like you have stood in some sort of strength here, okay? Um, you know, and this test could have showed up in many different ways. Like I said, there could have been like a couple involved, or, one person or multiple people, or something here. Um, but yeah. So there is the Beatles, the magician, the Ace of Cups. I mean, like, come on. There's something I keep hearing very magical that's like, coming to life here. Okay. Um, it's some I feel like it is something within you, okay? Because you have it's like defeated. Okay, yeah, okay. So earlier I was like, doing morning time stuff, right? And there was this energy of, the tipping the scales as far as what is kind of running your motivation. Is it the like, because I talked about how being in a certain position in which where in order to kind of self-preserve, you kind of let some shadows take over. And there's almost this energy of the scales tipping, right? Because it's like you've been working on this safety and like emotionally disconnecting from whatever it was that made you feel unsafe. And so, like, the scales are tipping, and now it's like most of the shadows are, at bay, and they're calm and they're entertained and they're kind of doing their own thing, not bothering you, right? Like, you have tamed that. Um, and so now it's like you can, there's like other pieces and parts of you that are coming to life, that are that are being shown or coming, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, you know, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, we have the Queen of Cups with the Queen of Swords here. Um, this is knowing who you are. This is having compassion for yourself and others. This is being very intelligent, very intuitive, very kind, very gentle, but also very truthful, right? You may be, it's like, you may be very blunt and honest, but you kind of do it with a little cherry on top, right? It's like it doesn't sting as much when you speak whatever truth you have to say, or when you know what I mean? Like, it's like you get your point across, but it's sweet, it's the aftertaste is not so bitter. Um, this is that type of energy that I'm picking up on. It's just a very balanced energy. And it's not, this is, I just feel like you're moving away from doing so much for others and moving more into a space and time where, again, it's not out of selfishness, it's out of like not holding yourself back, right? Because it's like, you know, well, okay, so I could go to detention with you guys because you guys got yourself there, and or I could go home and I could go work on, like I said, whatever, right? You could go skateboard, you could go work on something, you could go, you know what I mean? And it's this energy of Um, and that seems pretty like minute, but that's just the example when and it depends on who these people were and things like that. But, you know, that this feels what's going on. It's like there's been this time and space of having that strength and working on all of that and moving on here, and the tortoise here may have taken some time. But I feel like you're in this space of these pieces of you coming to life in this very balanced energy between the mind and the heart, you know, not leading too much with either one or the other, just a very balanced energy, to keep, and it's keeping, you in this flow. You're either in this energy now or you're coming into this energy. Okay. All right, so that was it for the YouTube. We're gonna head over to Patreon to dig a little deeper into this, to see, who knows? We've got three more decks that we're gonna use over there. But anyways, if I don't see you over there, listen, I love you so much. Happy New Year. And if I do, I'll see you in a few.